Today we're going to take a look at Crow Tarot, created by MJ Cullinane. I have reviewed an oracle deck called Urban Crow Oracle, also by MJ, so you can take a look at that video if you're interested in the oracle version. This is strictly tarot. We'll start with the box, which there's not much to say other than beautiful artwork, and it's extremely simple, nothing fancy. And again, I appreciate that. So we'll start by taking a look at the guidebook, and also very simple, major arcana in the front, minor in the back, no pictures. There are keywords and elements for all the major arcana. Death, for example, keywords are change, ending, new beginning, transformation, mortality. Its corresponding element is water. And then it says, the crow has let go and made peace with the change that must take place for her life to move forward in a positive direction. Most of these cards do obviously incorporate something about crows. So if you are a fan of crows or birds in general, you'll kind of appreciate this deck because she does pull in a lot of crow activity, crow behavior, things like that. But this is super simple, and I really appreciate it because, especially with this deck, this is a deck that I use very regularly. I don't refer to the guidebook that much, but when I do appreciate the little bits about crows in all of these. For example, flying above her throne is a crow. This is Queen of Swords, symbolizing her ability to see the big picture. Just little things. Page of Swords. Along the way, he may have lost a few feathers. So it's just nice. We'll take a look at the deck itself. Very simple background. It's not an extremely thick, it's a fairly thin card. It's got a playing card feel to it, which is fine. It's extremely slick. Also fine, especially if you like, going through and getting jumpers. I get quite a few with this one. I will say with this deck, as I've used it, again, it's one that is, it's a clarity deck for me. It's pretty straightforward, not really necessarily emotional. So if you're looking for something that is more matter of fact, not business, but just like this is that friend that gives you the honest truth, then this is a good deck for you. Especially, these cards are slightly oversized, you can see. If I'm going through, I struggle with the first few. To get them going because they are so slick. I have to go a little bit slower till I get momentum, and then they start coming out. But if I'm, not that I necessarily do tarot in a hurry, but if it's just like I want a quick answer on something, this is just a really good one. The cards just tend to come out really quickly once you get started. The first few are not the easiest for me, but my hands are small, so it's probably much easier with someone with large hands. But the artwork, again, I believe she does, MJ does a combination of mixed media, collage, just different, lots of color, more modern. The Emperor is pretty cool. It's got the crow on a throne, on a sword, on a ram's head. So that's a pretty cool card. But we could do a quick collective reading if you want. We'll get started by shuffling. I call upon my spirit guides, my ancestors, and spirits who are aligned and well intended to provide guidance. Please open up all channels so that I may receive clarity in your messages. And you'll see this is a very nice shuffling deck because it is so slick. The only thing is my hands are small, so the cards are a little oversized. That does make it a little bit harder for me to shuffle. But these are just minor things in the grand scheme, because I just absolutely love how slick these are. I love shuffling this deck. This is probably the deck that I enjoy shuffling the most. So, since we are at the end of August, why don't we see what is something that we should have learned? What is something that the viewer should have learned, or maybe has missed, or needs to know, something that they should be growing from at the end of August? So let's just give some general guidance on what the viewer is missing at the end of this month. Well, hidden information, so you're definitely missing something. But there's hope. New beginnings after feeling like you're tied in and you don't know which way to go. You felt constricted, but you really weren't. Okay, we're getting quite a few. Maybe what has happened. So let's see. We've got the High Priestess in reverse, so hidden information. There's something you haven't known, and it looks like it's kept you feeling like you're restricted, or that you're being chained to something when you really aren't. You may feel like there's no new beginning in this, but there is hope. So underneath all of this, maybe the hidden information is that there is hope. Maybe that you feel like you've been, like there are no options for this new beginning, but actually underneath that is hope. You've got Three of Pentacles reversed, so cooperation, but not. So something that would have had teamwork or working together to build something tangible is not happening. But this is with friendship, so maybe this is something that you've had friendship, a friend that there should have been something that was built, that was grounded, that was stable, that just isn't. You're failing at balancing, not failing, that's kind of a bad word to use. You're struggling with balancing maybe this, whatever this is, with a friendship, a social circle. Something should have been grounded that isn't. And then you've got Five of Pentacles reversed again. So you've got just a lot of, you're flanked here. First off, you've got 2 3s here, and then a 2, and then a 5. So it's a progression almost. because you're looking at 3, then you're looking at 3, 2, and then 5. So 3, 5, 5. But you're looking at something tangible has not worked out for you. And then we've got down here at the bottom, King of Pentacles again, where you should feel grounded, you should feel in control, you should have material security. Those things seem to be missing for some reason, and you're just sort of in this period of inaction, of silence, of stillness. You're not moving. So maybe we're talking about, it feels like this is your guidance, that there is hope. It may not seem like it, it may be hidden, it may feel like it's not there, but there is hope, because this card, the Star card, is a beautiful card. And you may feel like you have no options, no directions, and that there's the beginning, the leap of faith that you are going to take, the new beginning, the fresh start isn't there. And maybe where it's all coming from is something with a social circle, something tangible, something with friends, relationships, because 3 of Cups. You've struggled to balance it, and something material, business, finances, agreements, something did not work out because you've got reversals here on both sides. So this has left you out of balance in relationships. And then this may be how you feel at the moment. King of Pentacles reversed, ungrounded. You don't know what to do. You're just sort of stuck and sitting, and you don't know which direction to go in. But again, there is hope. So this is kind of telling you what's going on. What's the guidance for getting out of this? What's the guidance for September to move forward? A new emotional, something new with emotions, whether it's with yourself, it's breaking out of some sort of bondage to be in the sunlight. Warmth, home, happiness. There is a bond that is holding on to you. Most likely a relationship in some way. And you're almost being asked to maybe view that differently, because this page is newness. It's new emotional openings. And it may be saying that this bond, whatever bond that this is, because the devil isn't necessarily a negative card, especially upright. If it were reversed, it would mean you were trapped, but maybe you're moving out of this bond into emotional openness, even if that's just with you. It doesn't actually have to be with anyone else. But this is usually an opening of some sort with someone else. It's not an ace, so it's not singular. But whatever the end result is, you've got 2 really great cards. The Star and the Sun. So whatever August has done to you, because this seems mentally, because you've got your 8 of Swords here, mentally this was hard. You've got 8 of Swords here and you're ending in 4 of Swords. So that's some tough mental stuff going on, and whatever's behind it is something with a grounded relationship, or a relationship that isn't grounded, that you've struggled and failed. I say failed, but you're not doing well at balancing whatever this relationship is, and it has left you ungrounded, not in control, feeling afloat, untethered, but you just don't know, you're not moving. You're just you're stuck. You're just sitting in this silent space. So however that feels, which that seems like that probably doesn't feel great, you're coming out of it. September looks like a much better month. Have hope for the warmth, for the happiness, and maybe whatever this connection is, this bond is, maybe it wasn't healthy, maybe it isn't healthy, but something about it, something connected to it, something new is going to begin. There's something new with this, and it's going to lead you into warmth and happiness. So, hopefully that resonates. You did get to see the cards a bit in use. Again, I do love this deck. I will show you all the cards out of order. And there you go. So again, this is not a fancy deck by any means, but it's got really colorful artwork. It's got crows, which I adore. In terms of just use, it's just easy. This is probably one of the easiest decks I have to use. It's a very clear deck. The messages come through and they resonate, they make sense. If you're looking for just a good everyday deck that you want to be able to like just really shuffle fast, like just you've got jumpers just one after the other after the other, this is just a great deck. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching.